Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm calling from now.
Hey, come on. Hey, yeah, baby.
Trying to kick us off. Steve, what in particular pleased you about that performance?
Yeah, I think what pleased me was the resilience and composure of the players out there. There was, I think probably everyone would say there was a number of line breaks we had that we didn't quite convert. So we didn't get the scoreboard pressure on, which meant there was a period where the game was tight in very difficult conditions against an Australian side that are tough and really well drilled. But as I watched our team, I thought it was really composed and knew what to do next. I think the players were really clear on what they were attempted to do.
It's 8 wins in a row now. How important is that? We always say, don't we, winning is a habit.
I think next week's the most important thing. I'm pleased, obviously, that the players are developing. That I think you can see the team developing. What another aspect that I thought was a big positive there was the last quarter. You can see the team, the experience that's now developing within the team, the cohesion, the togetherness is now developing, that you feel in Q4 this team's going to be strong. So and there's a number of games we've won in that final quarter. I thought we were strong in the final quarter again today. What's most important is that we have a good training week and we step forward again over these next 7 days.
And how pleased were you by the impact the bench made? Obviously, those 5 changes on 52 minutes were key.
Yeah, I thought the bench certainly had a positive impact. And I think it's a sign that you can see the squads building in depth. It's been an important summer for English rugby, and with a number of players away with the Lions and been successful down in Australia, another number away in Argentina and America. It's enabled, I think, the squad to grow, and that's pleasing. It means I've got some difficult decisions to make. It's the exact decisions you want as a head coach.
It was another eye-catching cameo from Henry Pollock. Are you as excited by his potential as everyone else?
I think everybody's excited by when Henry Pollock gets on the pitch, what he brings. I think there's no doubt about that. I think he's probably the most excited person. I think the way he is and the energy he brings, he's a ball of energy, and I love having that character in the squad. And I think we've got a great blend of personalities developing within the team. And from the senior leadership group, I think have done a great job this week.
Tommy Freeman at 13, how did you feel that went? And is that a long-term plan?
It's one of the options we have. I think we've got other options as well. I think Tommy Freeman's a world-class player, and he gives that versatility. He does. It's excellent. I think potentially in attack today, we were probably a little bit over-eager, and probably the combinations just not quite trained together enough or played together enough, which is why some of those line breaks didn't quite finish the way we wanted them to. I think this is an important week for training for us, that we develop that cohesion amongst the players, develop that understanding amongst the players. So hopefully we step forward.
Maro, where's the confidence in this group at the moment? You seem to be thriving with each other. You're playing with a smile on your face. It must be sky high, right?
We just want to keep building. Obviously, we're delighted with the result, and we are delighted with how the team's coming together. But I think the team is just hungry to improve, hungry to spend time together and just get better.
And to score a try from a driving maul that started outside your 22, particularly pleasing as a forward, that one?
Very much so. I know that's probably Steve's favourite try of the game. So hopefully we can do that a little bit more often.
Steve, would it be a fair assessment to suggest that maybe that was a game 12 months ago that maybe you wouldn't have wrestled control back from, and actually is a really good sign of how the team's progressed in the last 12 months?
Yeah, I think the team's developing well and it's heading in that direction. Finishing games off, there's a number of factors that come to finishing those games off, and I think the experience, and unfortunately you want progress to flick switch and win. Now sometimes you go through some painful experiences, sometimes you go through those tough ones, but this is a squad that's eager to learn, so we'll address those issues we can learn from, and there'll be plenty out there today that when we review it we could do better. So the aim is to be a better team next Saturday.
And you spoke in the build-up of wanting to be a team that attacks with pace, and we maybe saw it in moments, but possibly not as much or maybe not as clinically as you might have liked. Your first 2 tries came from the kicking game. Was that because that was what was demanded from the game in those moments, or would you have liked to see a bit more from your attack?
Yeah, I think when you looked at the number of line breaks, there was a big number of line breaks out there today, and that was again a step forward. Finishing them off was not quite our strength today. As you've seen, the weather, the amount of rain that came down during the game, the pitch was the amount of rain it had overnight, the pitch was really greasy. I think that was a contributory factor as well. Again, an observation, you're in the coach's box there and you're watching these guys go, and what I found is that they're making some tactical switches within the game to find ways to win, and that tells me the team's thinking their way through a game. And I think that's, I've already done it once, but I'll praise the senior leaders. I thought they were excellent. And I said in the week that I just believe if a game gets a bit tricky, a bit sticky, they'll find a way to navigate through it. And I think they did that today.
And of all the players that have kind of broken into the team, I suppose, in the last 12 months or last 18 months, just a word on Tom Roebuck and how you see him settling in at international level.
Yeah, so there's Tom and I often talk about it as a reference point where there was a number of conversations where I thought he was playing really well, training really well. He was banging on the door, but I wasn't picking him. I was picking Tommy Freeman and Omani Feobosa, mainly Tommy Freeman on that right side. And then he just kept doing the right things, kept working to improve. And it all came out in that Wales game at the end of the Six Nations where all his hard work came to fruition. The opportunity came. And I get the sense from him, he just wants to keep grasping this chance, this opportunity he's got, and he wants to keep getting better. I think last week, he hit a new PB in his speed. So this is a guy who just wants to improve. So I'm very pleased with what he's doing.
And just finally from me, Maro, can I get a word on Luke Cowan-Dickie on his 50th off the bench scoring a try?
No, it's my absolute joy and privilege to play with Luke. He's I guess it's fair to say he's one of the most unique people that I've ever met. He's an incredibly talented rugby player, tough man, and he's definitely a resilient man. His journey to get here has been bumpy, but he's always found a way. He's always found a way to get back in the team, and he's a much valued member of the squad. And I'm delighted that he's managed to get 50, and I'm even more delighted for him that he managed to get the try on his 50th.
Okay, we're gonna go to this guy here, and then the guy with a hat on next to him after you.
Good.
Yep.
With Freddie Stewart picking a bit of a niggle at the end of there, could we see potentially Marcus Smith or Henry Arundel switching into the fullback position?
Yeah, we'll have to look at. I've not received any medical reports, so I don't know the extent of the knock that Fred took there. There's also with his hand. So I'll make that assessment once I know the full extent of that. I thought Fred did real well today. It's interesting, Australia's tactics effectively. Middle of the pitch there, just straight away going contestable, off 9 generally. And I thought Fred, in difficult conditions, did really well.
And Maro, obviously South Africa's got the bomb squad and France has got La Bomb squad. What impact did England's bomb squad have today? And do you guys have an internal nickname for that?
I don't think so. But I think the guys who came off the bench were fantastic today. You always want the guys to come off the bench to add and pick up the energy, pick up the intensity of the team, and they definitely did that. I thought they were all to a man fantastic.
Thank you.
Hi, Steve. Following Fraser Dingwall's remarks about Henry Pollock potentially playing in the centre, how do you see that going forward in terms of, viable options for other players in different positions? Yeah,
I think it's going to be important to have that flexibility position, especially if we continue with 6-2. We know Ben Earl, I'd be quite happy to start Ben Earl in the centres. I think I talked in the week about the possibility of Henry on the wing, and it's certainly a project that we have started to being able to cover that in a game, to be clear, to be able to move there should we need to. The Ben Earl project we'd started a long time ago and kept drip feeding that into training before he had to do that. Really, it was Wales away at the end of the Six Nations and did so well. It's another project we started with Henry. You would expect me to be thinking about these things. You'd expect me to be putting this into the planning, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Great, thank you.
Okay, last one here, and then we're going to go downstairs for some more mix zone.
Steve, are you happy with the way the breakdown was refereed, and do you think the news that was circulating this week had an impact on that at all?
I think the biggest thing about the breakdowns, I thought Nika had a good game. We've got some areas to improve. I thought Fraser McWright stole too many balls from us, which he's a wonderful player. I think we can all say that he's an incredible player. We probably didn't do our jobs well enough. So we've got some work to do in that area. We know Fiji challenged the breakdown from inside and outside, and they have a big counter ruck threat. So we've got some work to do there this week.
No complaints with the referee?
I thought Nika's did a great job in the game, and he's an experienced ref who, I think he out there today in difficult conditions. So he did very well.
Okay, thanks very much. Steve, quick,